Happy July 5th, everyone. I hope you had an amazing 4th. Last night I came up with a video series idea that I could use. I am usually in bed when I'm scrolling through Facebook or wherever, and I'm in a few forums. This one is a Nissan Maxima forum on Facebook that I'm going to be talking about today. But I thought it'd be a good idea, instead of just responding to these people in these forums to help them out, I could also make videos about them so that I could try to help more people. And so if we go over to this slide, this is the main thing. This guy posted, fix my AC with a kit from Amazon. All those shops that wanted $700 to $1,400 for a new compressor can suck it. I agree. A lot of the times, compressors are extremely expensive. This guy says, how'd you vacuum the system? Well, all he had to do was change the clutch. He didn't have to replace the compressor or anything like that. A good shop would have replaced the clutch as well and wouldn't have charged that much. Labor on that would have been maybe 1.2. I don't think it calls for removal of the compressor in a Maxima. You can do it in a car. This guy, his clutch isn't working either, but I have Freon on the system. He's like, well, you don't need to remove any refrigerant from the system. You definitely don't, unless it's really bad and you got a hole in it or something, then you're already gonna have no Freon on the system. You don't got to worry about that. So this guy's like, also, just don't drop the car off the jack like I did. Yeah, that would hurt pretty bad. The person who commented that really caught my eye is this guy. Mine just started acting up, works when it wants to. I do not think, just hearing those words, that it is a clutch. If a clutch is actually bad, it's just not going to work at all. There's other systems, or there's other items in the AC system that can cause this type of thing that he's experiencing. The AC pressures could be way too high, and what makes the pressures too high is the cooling fans aren't working effectively. The pressures shoot up, you'll get AC for a bit, AC pressure shoots up, and the computer in the car tells the compressor to shut down so that the system doesn't blow up. Pressures can get really high. I think about 260 maybe is about the cutoff when it turns off. Another thing, if the system is working and then sometimes doesn't, the refrigerant can be low. It's just not effective enough, and if it gets overworked, it's just, especially with it being 100 degrees outside in most states, you're going to have a bad time. So I respond to this guy saying that these are some things that you can do to check, and I'll put that up here. You guys can read my response right here. Pretty much I'm saying to him that you need to check and make sure what actually could be the problem. Now, my thinking and more in-depth explanation I'm going to make in this video is, if it's sometimes working and sometimes not, a good way to check to make sure that the clutch even works to begin with is turn on the car with the HVAC system on, and then when you hit the AC button to turn the AC on, if you don't hear a click or a ping sound, I don't know the best way to describe it. If you don't hear any sound of the clutch engaging, then there is a high chance that it is your clutch that is bad. However, there are wires that go from the IPDM all the way down to that magnetic clutch to actually engage it. In Nissan, at least from what I've experienced, the IPDM controls the AC system, whether or not the compressor turns on, and it gets data from the pressure sensor, or is it pressure switch? Sensor switch, regardless. It gets information from that, your your outside ambient air temp and your interior air temp. Not all vehicles have an interior temp sensor, but those that have automatic AC systems do have interior temp sensors. It's funny, in the springtime and fall when it's kind of cool, kind of warm, there can be discrepancies between the outside and the inside. And if you have your window open, sometimes it's cooler inside than it is outside. So your AC will not kick in as hard. And you think that you're getting warmer air, but it's because the car is like, okay, well, outside is cooler than inside. So we don't need to work as hard because we can just pull that air in. Anyways, that's pretty much how that works. So first check that you need to do is just make sure that the clutch even turns on. If it doesn't turn on, check to see if it gets power. Now, not everyone has a DVOM, something, a little multimeter, or something to check the wiring circuit to see if it's actually getting power that should engage the magnetic clutch. If it's not getting power, then that's probably a blown fuse in the IPDM, or the IPDM itself could be bad. If you have a scanner that can read information in the AC system, that'll help a lot as well. What I would then do, if it does get power and it does turn on, you can't at home really test to see how low the refrigerant is. I know you can go to the parts store and buy cans that have little pressure gauges. Those aren't very dependable. So you might have to go to a shop to actually get the system evacuated, see how much it is in there, and then top it off. Even 0.5 pounds low can make your AC system sometimes work. A lot of the times it will not work. And I do not advise putting those cans into your system, because if you already have a full AC system and you just put more in it, you're going to have a bad time and you're going to cause more damage later down the line or immediately. So with this guy, I say that you want to check your refrigerant levels first if you can. Now that's a great idea, because if the system doesn't have all the refrigerant in it, it's not going to work properly. With other things that can happen, I know on the latest generation Rogue, the 4-cylinder, not the 3. I don't know if the system persisted in the 3-cylinder, but the bulletin and recall was for the 4-cylinder. The issue was that the AC clutch would not engage. It's being commanded to turn on, but it's not engaging. I diagnosed it as an IPDM. Under warranty, ordered a new IPDM, installed it. The clutch worked, AC system worked. Well, after about a month or so, I guess a lot of people started having that same issue, so then it became a recall. And we would need to have the Rogues come in, update the IPDM, and then it would work. If it already was working, then it prevents the system from ever not working for that reason. And sometimes people come in with no AC. We do an IPDM update, and bam, their AC works. So there's a lot of different things that work together to make your AC system work. It's not just flip a button on and the compressor turns on. It's pretty smart that way, and you don't want to have issues later down the line. I think this series could be pretty fun. I'm going to try to make the videos under 10 minutes so I can post it on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I can't post there because, well, you can't post videos that long. And it's not very good format for that. So I'm at least going to try to make this series on TikTok for as long as TikTok stays around, and on YouTube, so that people can kind of understand their vehicles a little bit more. I'm just starting this with an AC issue. Other issues that I might have people may see, we'll check them out. But anyways, we're at like 9 minutes right now. I've done this all in one take. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend, and that you all keep your fingers, because it is the 4th. Well, holiday weekend anyways. It's the 5th currently as I'm recording this. Anyways, as always, peace out and stay bloody.